Hello everyone, let's talk about another easy problem on Leetcode today. Sort array by increasing frequency, Leetcode 1636. In this problem, we are given an array of integer nums and we have to sort the arrays in the increasing order based on the frequency of the values. If we have multiple values with the same frequency, then we should sort them in the decreasing order. And in the end, we have to return the sorted array. Then they have given some examples as well. In the first example, we can see that 1 occurs 2 times, 2 occurs 3 times, and then 3 occurs 1 time. Now we sort the numbers based on the frequency in ascending order. So we can see that 3 occurs once, so 3 comes in first, then 1 occurs twice, so then we add 2 ones to the output, and then 2 occurs 3 times, so we will add 3 twos at the end of the output array. Right? So this is first example. Then in the second example, we can see that 2 occurs 2 times, then 3 occurs 2 times, and then 1 occurs once, right? So in this case, because 1 occurs 1 time, so this will come first. Then we can see that there is a tie between 2 and 3 in terms of frequency, because frequency of both 2 and 3 is actually 2. So in this case, we have to pick up the number which is higher, right? Because in case of a tie, the sorting has to be in decreasing order. So that's why we will pick 3 2 times and then 2 2 times. Now let's see how we can actually solve this problem. So one way to solve this problem can be that we actually create a frequency map similar to what we see here. And then based on that, we can actually use a comparator, for example, in Java to sort the keys based on the frequency. Let's see how. We can see that the elements are 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, right? And now we can pass these elements to the comparator in Java. And the way the comparator works is like it actually takes in two elements, say A and B, and based on that, there are three outputs. Either it can be 0, so 0 means the two elements are equal, or it can be negative. Negative value means first value, that is A is smaller than B, and positive value means A is larger than B. Now we pass two elements from array into the comparator, A and B, and we compare them based on the frequency. So first we will get the frequency from the map, and then we can use the inbuilt compare to function on integer to actually compare the frequencies. So this will sort the array in the ascending order of the frequencies. But what happens when there is a tie? For that, let's look at example 2 again. So when we actually sort the list based on the current comparator, it will turn this list into 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, right? But what we want is 1, 3, 3, 2, 2, right? So to fix this, what we will do is like if there is a equality in terms of frequency, that is when the frequency comparison returns 0. In this case, we will make comparator equal to b minus a. And the reason for this is that when we say b is greater than a, that means b minus a will be positive. And this is what we want, that b should come before a, right? And similarly, if b is less than a, then b minus a will be negative. And in this case, a is higher, so a will come before b. So for example, take a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 3, then b minus a will be positive. So we will see actually 3 before 2 because comparator returns positive value. Similarly, if a is equal to 3 and b is equal to 2, then b minus a will be negative. So that's why 3 will precede 2 in the sorted order. So that's how we will do the sort in the descending order. And once we do that, it will sort our list in the correct order. Now let's jump into the code part. So first thing we will do is we will define the frequency map. The key will be the number and value will be the frequency of that number in the array. Then we will just loop on the numbers array and update the frequency in the frequency map. So when we are building this frequency map, we will actually add the number. But before that, we will just get the number's frequency and increment it by 1. And one neat trick to avoid checking if the key is present in the map or not, we can actually use get or default. So in case the key is not present, we will get a default value of 0. And then we will start putting the values in the map accordingly. Now we will just create a list of integers to convert the nums array to nums list. And the reason for this is we will be using the comparator. And comparator in Java works with object types rather than primitive types. So either we can convert this primitive array to integer object array, or we can create list of integers, which gives more flexibility. Now we add all the array elements to the list. We could have done this in the first loop itself, but I'm doing it in a separate loop just to show this point, like why we are actually doing it so that we don't miss it. Now we will sort the list. We will take in two values in the comparator. And now we will first get the frequency of both A and B. And if they are equal, that means we have to sort them in the reverse order. So it will be B minus A. Otherwise, we will be comparing the frequencies in the ascending order. Map.get A dot compare to map dot get b. And once we have the sorted list, we can actually convert it back to the array. So now let's run this code. Awesome. Let's submit this code. Cool. In terms of time complexity, it is O of n log n, where n is the number of elements in the array. And the reason for this is when we are actually creating this map and the list, that takes O of n time. And then we are sorting the list, that takes O of n log n time, because we are doing comparison based sort. And finally, we are converting list back to array, that takes O of n time again. So overall time complexity is O of n log n. And in terms of space complexity, it is O of n, because we are storing the values in the map and the list. So that takes O of n time. I hope this video was useful to you. If it was, please like and subscribe. The code link is in the description. Have a nice time. Thank you.